So I just got done at the gym, feeling amazing on this beautiful day. Smash some shoulders. I know you probably think by now this is all that I train, but it's not, I promise. It's just the fact that Saturdays is my freest day during the week. I'm working full time, so it's kind of hard to film during the week because my schedule is so tight. And I know I mentioned it in my last video, but I really like the split that I'm on right now, the training split. We've been hitting legs on Monday, quad focused, and calves, and then Tuesday's been chest and triceps. Wednesday's back and biceps. Thursday is hamstring focused legs and calves, and then Saturday has been shoulders and traps. So it's been fun. I am right now enjoying a delightful post-workout meal. New Zealand pasture-raised venison, ground venison, red skin and yellow skin potatoes, green beans, sea salt. God's food. That's it. I guess this is a post-workout meal talk. The first one ever. Basically for the last couple of years, right? I've sort of put this together, done a lot of introspective sort of self-reflection, and it really just revolves around the gym and the bodybuilding lifestyle, and just in all of these different ways, it greatly improves your life. And like I was just saying, I really am taking it upon myself to be an advocate for this lifestyle in the best way that I possibly can. And full disclosure, like I did one competition, right? It wasn't bad. It's just that I feel like for competition, you really have to either have superior genetics or you have to do the juice. And I've worked very hard. I've built a beautiful body. We're still have a long way to go. We're still making progress, but I definitely don't have the best of the best when it comes to genetics for bodybuilding, right? So there's that, and then like I said, you really have to do the juice to get anywhere in bodybuilding today, which is why I'm such a huge fan of the golden era. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Franco Columbu, Chris Dickerson. You could just go on and on. Mike Mentzer, even Lee Haney. Those guys in the even late 70s, all throughout the 80s was it, man. And then in the very beginning, early 90s, before it just got crazy. That was the time, man, the golden era. I'd love to see bodybuilding return to the golden era, because that's just where it's at, best of the best. But going back to what I was saying, right? Competition is not really a pursuit or a goal for me. It's more so, bodybuilding has so many benefits outside of that in improving your life. So it's what I call the 7 wonders of bodybuilding, the optimum lifestyle. The title, right, takes after the 7 wonders of the ancient world. So the 7 wonders of bodybuilding, the optimum lifestyle. First one, pretty easy, exercise, right? So exercise is essential for life. I think it's one of the biggest problems in society right now, just generally speaking, for people are just not active enough. And if you're not active, I mean, the data are very clear on this. Your likelihood of living a long, healthy life, if you're not active, is greatly, the odds are greatly decreased. And you have to prioritize exercise. And of course, bodybuilding, what are you doing? You're going to the gym, you do your cardio, you do your weightlifting, weight training, right? And this is something, at least from a bodybuilding perspective, right? You're doing this, it's a daily pursuit, right? So for me, I really only have one day out of the week, sometimes two. One, sometimes 2 days where it's a rest day for me, right? So I might go and do some cardio, but other than that, it's a rest day. And that's usually Fridays and Sundays. But the other 5 days are training and cardio. And, you know, with bodybuilding, you know, it's particularly special, right? Because you're going to the gym and you can train and improve each one of each muscle or each muscle group individually. And I think it keeps the motivation high, right? You know, I love switching it up and changing, you know, training different muscle groups at different times, right? Or sometimes I'll do, you know, chest and biceps together. Sometimes I'll do back and triceps together, or vice versa. You know, sometimes I'll do one full leg day. Sometimes I'll do, you know, a quad focused leg day, and then hamstring focused leg day, and we'll mix in calves, right? You're just always changing it up, so your motivation stays very high because you're doing something. It's almost like you're doing something new on a regular basis. And for me, that's one of the best parts, right? So just to sort of sum it up, right, it's exercise is extremely important, and I think bodybuilding, exercising in that way, going to the gym, training certain muscle groups, is one of the most enjoyable, fun ways to be active. So exercise, right, is an extremely important component, right, for living a quality life. So that's number one. Number two, and, you know, both of these sort of work together synergistically, right? Exercise and nutrition. Eating good, whole, natural, clean foods, right, is the absolute best for your body. Staying away from added sugars, right? Processed foods, food dyes, you know, foods that are loaded with certain seed oils. You want to avoid processed garbage and eat as natural as possible. And I like to call it God's food, right? Because you see right here, everything that I'm eating right now at this lunch comes from nature. It is whole, natural, it's uncorrupted by man, right? That's the way I like to put it, because the amount of poison, oh man. And we're gonna do a video. I'm gonna do a video when I go grocery shopping. I'm gonna take you all grocery shopping with me, so we can do this together. But the amount of poison in grocery stores is astonishing. I can't even begin to explain. You know, I'm always, I sort of say to myself, you know, I'm going to the grocery store and walk through the aisles, right, and I'm just saying to myself, you know, poison. I go buy all this garbage that they sell, and you know, it's sort of troubling to me how many people don't realize what is just horrible for them. And I mean, they eat it anyway, or drink it anyway, and it's shocking to me. You know, I see coworkers all the time at work, right, going up to the vending machine, getting Mountain Dew, orange soda. I mean, this stuff is ultra toxic to your body. Just plain and simple. It's what? It's added sugar. It's added sugar, one of the worst things you can eat. It's food dye, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, just garbage, pure garbage, plain and simple. And I just can't get over the fact how many people will consume this stuff on a daily basis. It's really troubling. But nutrition, from a bodybuilding perspective, right? Getting high amounts of protein every single day. So for me personally right now, right, I'm eating I'm about 240 to 260 grams of protein per day. That's a lot. But the thing is, once you get used to it, and once you're used to eating a lot on a regular basis, it really becomes easy. Like I have no issue whatsoever getting my daily protein intake. Now it's honestly, sometimes I feel like I eat too much protein because I even go more than that sometimes. But right now we're on a muscle building phase, so the increase is required for that. But, if you're just somebody who's looking to build muscle, right, usually a gram per pound of body weight, 1.5 grams per pound of body weight is sufficient, depending on obviously your body type and your metabolism. But the nutrition aspect of bodybuilding is one of my favorites. I mean, I love nutrition. I am planning on going back to school soon, hopefully, for exercise physiology and nutrition, because I want to be certified, right, in both of these. But the nutrition aspect, eating whole, clean, natural foods daily is the absolute best thing you can do for your body. And the thing is, it's not only that, but it's also the best thing you can do for your mental health. Because when you eat clean, your energy levels are incredible, you feel amazing, and pretty much every single day you feel extraordinary because you're putting high quality fuel into your body. And I always like to say, I treat my body like a Ferrari, I treat my body like a Lamborghini, premium fuel only, right? And I was actually going to open with this. I was kind of just thinking about what I was going to talk about, but what is the most valuable gift that you are given in this life? And maybe I've given it away already. I'll give you a couple seconds to think about it. What is the most valuable gift that you are given in this life? It's your body. Hands down, unequivocally, unquestionably, it is your body. And it's just deeply troubling to me how many people just seemingly don't give a damn about themselves and their bodies. And it's from multiple angles, right? So your health, your physical appearance are two of the most obvious ones. I mean, and I see it all the time when I go to the grocery store, man. And one of the reasons why bodybuilding is so extraordinary is that you're a rare breed. You are such a rare breed. If you have a beautiful body, a nice physique, and I want to be clear right off the bat here, this is applicable to both men and women. Bodybuilding lifestyle is suitable equally for both. And, it doesn't mean if you're a chick, right, you have to be super jacked, right? But in a way, right, bodybuilding in that regard, right, you're taking care of your physical appearance and your health. It's a 2-for-1. Okay, so number 3 is health, mental and physical, right? So I already mentioned it. Exercise, nutrition, both work together synergistically to improve your health, greatly improve your health, which thereby improves your quality of life. Going to the gym, right, is it's well known, widely known that just going to the gym, right, it greatly it stimulates your mind, right? You release endorphins. It's a stress reliever. And I can't even tell you countless times. I mean, pretty much every time, to be honest. I rarely have a bad workout. But as soon as I'm done in the gym, man, that is when I am feeling the absolute best. I'm a little tired physically, right, but it's rewarding. But the mentality aspect, my mentality, right, when I'm done at the gym is just way up high, peak. And then on top of that too, right, since for me, I love training so much, and I love being in the gym, right, and I've sort of become a night trainer. I didn't used to be, but I had to because of working full time, and then school too. Before that, but I have probably 4 or 5 meals before I train, right? So plenty of energy. But from just a sort of mental health aspect, right? I look forward when I'm at work all day. I just cannot wait to get out of work and hit the gym. I'm looking forward to that all day, and that is so incredibly beneficial for your mental health. But also, I know a lot of people, right? A lot of people out there, deal with stress. A lot of people deal with anxiety, deal with depression, right? And I'll tell you, going to the gym is one of the absolute, hands down, best relief factors for any of those feelings or conditions, right? And I mean, I would highly recommend. I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful so I don't get. But I would highly recommend staying away as much as possible from and medication and such. I'm a firm believer in natural remedies, like for example, sunlight right now. The sun's setting, beautiful right now, and exercise and going to the gym, because anytime I've ever been, even angry too, and I can remember when I was dealing with girl problems before, right, and going to the gym was such a great relief. And some of the angry workouts, in a way, I know relief and anger aren't typically associated, right? But some of the best workouts I've had were angry workouts. I'm not gonna lie, and I've definitely hit some personal bests weight wise on the angry workout days. But pretty self-explanatory, right? It's just bodybuilding is so incredibly good for your mental and physical health. All right, so what do we have here? We have, so far, number 1, exercise, number 2, nutrition, number 3, health, mental and physical. Number 4 is muscle, right? And building muscle, right, it's so undervalued, right, by the medical establishment. It really is. When you have higher amounts of muscle mass, and of course that's relative to your body composition, right? So for me, I carry very minimal body fat. I have no problem staying lean. I would say I'm probably around 10 to 12% right now is usually the highest I'll get, even on a bulk, right? But my muscle mass percentage is very, very high. It's well above average, and we're going to keep increasing that. But the more muscle you have, it's just so greatly associated with better health, right? Especially long term, because as you age, right, it gets harder and harder to build muscle. So one of the things that I'm doing, right, is because I want to be like some of my role models, right, like Jay Cutler, like Mike O'Hearn. These are the top dogs in the industry. And what, Jay Cutler I think is 50. Mike O'Hearn is the Greek god himself. What, he's got to be like, I think he's 56. Unbelievable. But see, those two guys, and I'm going to throw a third in there. I love Robbie Robinson too, because the guy is damn near 80 years old. and he looks absolutely incredible. Because all three of these guys, they started training right when they were younger, never stopped, just never stopped. And I think that is one of the keys. That is one of the most important factors when it comes to building muscle, right, and maintaining muscle. Just never stopping. And I sort of carry that mentality with me because, whenever I'm in the gym, I'm always extra careful. I never want to ego lift, control the weight, right? Sometimes, of course, cheat repetitions are necessary, but I am never just throwing around heavy weight with awful form, because doing so carelessly, right, greatly increases your risk of injury. And if you're injured, you can't train most of the time, depending on the injury. But the longevity aspect is huge, and it's something that I really plan on doing forever. Like, I am never going to stop training, and absolutely nothing is going to get in my way. And sort of that's the mentality I have when it comes to muscle, and why just building muscle, right? Muscle is that organ of longevity. Shout out Dr. Gabrielle Leone. That's her catchphrase, not mine. Number five, and this is often overlooked. Number five of seven wonders of bodybuilding. Number 5 is meal prep. Meal prep is just, it's one of the best things you can do to ensure that you're getting your quality nutrition, right, on a daily basis. But the thing for me, like, you need to eat anyway. And I just can't get over, again, I like the people I work with, but man, I just can't get over it. It's such a foreign concept to me to, on your lunch break, right? I mean, I see it every day. Grab a chips, grab a soda from the vending machine. Like, that's what you're eating? I mean, look, I'm not gonna rail on anybody in particular too much, but that is just it's just lazy. It's careless, the way I see it. And if you're just not simply getting the quality nutrition you need on a daily basis, I mean, what are you doing? Again, it comes back to taking care of the most valuable gift that you're given in this life, which is your body. And the thing about meal prep, right, is it's again, you're basically taking care of the nutrition factor, of course, right? But then also, it's a time saver, major time saver. I mean, I set aside time, right, every single Sunday to prep my meals for the entire week. And the amount of time that saves me, right? And I literally, I don't have to worry at all the rest of the week about what I'm eating, when I'm eating. It's just a habit. Everything's prepared, grab it and go. So I have one of those meal bags, right? What are they called? ISO bags. Yeah, I got it on sale. It's a Phil Heath one. I freaking love it. It's all black. It says Gifted Athletics on it. Super motivating whenever I open that up to think of one of the greatest bodybuilders ever. The Gift himself, Phil Heath, right? But in the morning, I usually make breakfast fresh every day. But then everything else is prepped. That includes breakfast number 2, lunch number 1, lunch number 2, and then I usually have a snack, and then a dinner, and then I usually have a post-workout meal too. But I've been doing since I'm bulking, I usually do about 2 cups of cereal is my post-workout with a protein shake. So I usually count that as a meal. But other than breakfast and my post-workout cereal and shake, right, everything is prepped. And it saves a great deal of time. You're taking care of your nutrition. right? You're taking care of your body by providing it with the fuel needed, right, to have superior energy levels all throughout the day. And you feel amazing mentally and physically because of that. So I am such a huge advocate for meal prep. You know, if you're not a cook, there are so many different meal prep services out there. I love MegaFit. MegaFit's probably my favorite, MegaFit meals. And then particularly, right, as it relates to bodybuilding, I mean, if you're not getting the proper nutrition, you know, just forget about it. This goes back to I remember in that I talked about it in my first video. Terrell Owens, right, is the reason why I got into fitness and bodybuilding. And I remember him talking about it. It was actually his trainer. His name was Buddy Prim. 60% diet, 30% exercise, 10% rest. That's like the ultimate, the distribution, right, for physical excellence. That's what's required. And you see 60% nutrition, right? Nutrition carries the most weight there. And so I'm always prioritizing my nutrition, and meal prepping is the best way to do that. And I will add too, when it comes to nutrition, to sort of backtrack a little bit, you know, I don't get me wrong, I love having cheat meals. I have Chick-fil-A is probably one of my favorites, although I do it rarely because they have a lot of additives and preservatives that I'm not particularly a fan of. But I like Wawa a lot too, and then of course you can't go wrong with you know, places like the Cheesecake Factory. I love Italian restaurants too. But to sort of factor that in there too, right? You know, cheat meals are so much fun. I mean, I look forward to having my cheat meals. And you can strategize, right, and use your cheat meals. So, like, for example, they provide you with a huge energy boost right before a workout. Or even if I have a cheat meal, like I'll often have cheat meals on Friday nights. And then Saturday morning, oh man, total juice factory. Total juicy carnival at the gym. So cheat meals you can implement, right? You can still have fun. You want to splurge a little bit, right? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I get a little tired of eating, you know, plain rice and chicken and beef all the time, but I realize that it's for function. And that's what's most important, but at the same time, you know, you don't have to sacrifice completely everything, right, that you enjoy that may not particularly be good for you. So cheat meals is a huge component of nutrition. All right, where are we at? We're at number 6. And number 6, talked about a little bit earlier. Also drinking water, I will add. You know, your body composition is, I forget the exact percentage, but, you know, mostly water. Muscle contains a lot of water. Drinking ultra clean spring water is what I prefer. Usually around a gallon a day is ideal, but that's a huge component of nutrition. Number 6 is beauty. We already touched on this, but you know, being somebody with a beautiful body, a nice physique, I'll tell you, man, it is extremely rare. I would like to see some sort of study on it, to be honest. But I would say, man, those who have a really well-developed muscular physique, right, a beautiful body, men and women, I wonder what percentage of the population you are. I'd really be interested to know if anybody is aware of like a study of that nature. Please let me know, because I'd like to find out. But you can simply, again, you know, in the summertime, go to the beach or just go to the grocery store. Obviously in the summer, it's usually most noticeable, right? Because people are wearing, you know, tank tops, t-shirts, and then if you go to the beach, obviously, the girls are rocking the swimsuits, and you can easily tell too what guys have good physiques and who doesn't, right? But the beauty aspect, I'll tell you, and this again, see, they all sort of synergistically tie together. But the beauty aspect is it does wonders for your mental health, right? Just being It boosts attractiveness, right? It boosts confidence. You know, like I said, your body is your most prized possession. You just keep reiterating it, but it's just 100% true. And you know, when you're somebody who clearly has a nice body, doesn't that communicate, you know, discipline, right? I mean, to me it does, right? When I see a girl and I can tell that she works out and takes care of herself, that's one of the most attractive traits. You know, girls that take care of themselves and prioritize that is hands down one of the most attractive traits in my opinion. But you know, it's the case for men too, right? I take care of myself to the best of my ability. I'm like the only person around up here sunsetting. So I should watch my back, make sure there aren't any serial killers around. All right, you know what? Because I'm muscular, and because I've put so much time and effort into building a beautiful body, right? I'm physically more than capable of defending myself. So that's another benefit of bodybuilding. Yeah, people are people are less likely to mess with you if they know that you're muscular. How true is that? All right. So beauty is number 6. And you know, being a rare breed that has a beautiful body, your most prized possession, second to none. It's a little cold too. Number 7 is time. I already talked about it a little bit, but specifically as it relates to meal prep, right? It saves a ton of time because you're taking care of what you have to eat, right, in one small block, and I can usually do it on a Sunday. It usually takes me, meal prep usually takes me about 3 hours max, right? So not too bad for the entire week. You know, so I am not, besides breakfast, and breakfast is super easy, right? And I'm going to shout out the Hulk Pancake, Laura Lee Chapados. Absolute best breakfast. That has been my breakfast for, wow, every day for like at least 2 years. No, it's been longer than 2 years. It's been like 2.5, almost 3 years. But outside of that, and that takes what, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes to prepare in the morning, so not too bad. But the time aspect, and I look at it, right, it's not only related to meal prep, right, but if you're taking care of your body to the best of your ability and prioritizing your health in each one of these ways, right, through bodybuilding, can save you in the long term, right? Because what if you have, you know, if you don't take care of yourself, you're eating garbage, you're not prioritizing your health and nutrition, chances, you know, are increased that you can develop chronic illness and disease, and then, you know, doctor's visits, medical bills, etc. can pile up, and boy, some of the prices and costs of the cost of medical bills, insane. So, you know, you can prioritize your health now, and, you know, the reward, at least, you know, through probability, the reward of, you know, longevity is greatly increased. So I think just to sort of sum it up, I mean, to me, bodybuilding just makes sense. Like, it makes sense as the optimum lifestyle. And, you know, in each one of these ways that I talked about, bodybuilding has greatly improved my life, and it's going to continue to do so. And I would encourage anybody who's watching, you know, even if, you know, you might go to the gym infrequently, you know, pick it up a little bit, try to take on the bodybuilding lifestyle to the fullest extent, because you'll find out if you do it. I started, man, what is it? This is my, I think my seventh year training, 8th year training. But then you have to factor in, you know, the amount of years that I actually knew what I was doing, right? So, man, when it first started, obviously there's the virgin gains, which are great, but you know, for a while there, it took me a good amount of time to figure it out and figure out, you know, what I'm doing. And it's always an experimental journey, but bodybuilding makes sense, and it's simply the best lifestyle. And one of my favorite quotes, actually, and we'll just cut it off with this, from the great Arnold Schwarzenegger: "What is the point of being on this earth if you are going to be like everyone else?"